We open sourced OpenStack because we felt that Rackspace and NASA together couldn't do it alone. So since both of our projects at the time, Nova and Swift, were written in Python, we figured we could open source it to the world and get community involvement and really drive the cloud forward and provide an open alternative to closed platforms that are out there today.
Every single summit so far has been the biggest summit ever and has consistently been doubling. So it's basically like a exponential growth that you're observing. And the first summit ever, I think was in Austin, had about 70 people in it. Now we are 2.5 years into kind of the OpenStack journey, and we have a summit of 3,000 people, which makes it one of the biggest open source events out there in the world. I think that this is indicative of the fact that basically, OpenStack is the ecosystem that has made it already. Everybody in the infrastructure space has accepted OpenStack as kind of the de facto standard as far as the kind of cloud infrastructure platforms are concerned, and the kind of just the dynamic, the amount of energy, and the number of people at the summit today means that OpenStack has won the open cloud wars, in my opinion.
Well, I'm extremely interested in OpenStack in general. I think it's a game changer in terms of technology, sort of akin to TCP/IP. So from that perspective, I think if there is a diverse ecosystem of different vendors and hypervisors and technologies involved, sort of underneath all these common APIs, it just makes the whole infrastructure sort of much more flexible, and it will provide a more lasting technology than if you went with a single sort of one vendor solution. So I think sort of OpenStack in its purest form, its strength comes from its ability to have sort of this modular sort of plug-in approach from different vendors to build a common cloud infrastructure.
The support here is phenomenal. It's amazing. How even bitter rivals have come together on this platform to really talk about what's the benefit of our customers and what's the benefit of the community. So you have competition from competing companies sit on the OpenStack board, be members of the OpenStack, and contribute back to the community. And this collaboration, if you look around, is really phenomenal.
Well, so the interesting thing is, as I said, I work within the networking group at VMware, and but this morning I'm standing and I'm talking with folks from Cisco and Midokura, and I'm there, and some Juniper folks, and we're all just kind of there, and we're all talking about how OpenStack works or how we're going to help grow OpenStack. It's an interesting piece. We obviously all have to continue to make sure that we are helping our company survive and pay our paychecks, but it's really nice to be able to see that in many cases the community is very, very important and takes sort of first place, if you will, in working together.
I think it's here to stay. I think that there are enough big companies who have a majorly vested interest in keeping the project around, and I see that it's going to continue to grow and innovate, and I think that's one of the things that really amazes me about the community is just the rate of innovation. And the surprising thing about this innovation is that it's companies like HP, companies like IBM, and huge companies that historically have been too big to innovate are actually figuring out how to be agile and innovate around this ecosystem.
There's no alternative that compares, in my opinion, to OpenStack, and CloudStack and Eucalyptus are trying, but the rate of innovation is no way compares to OpenStack, and the community involvement and the number of committers and the growth of the companies and the people involved with OpenStack has exceeded anyone's wildest dreams, and for an open source project, it's already set tons and tons of records. The alternatives for this, for a cloud thing, there won't be alternatives, I think, in 2 to 3 years. I think no one will take anything other than OpenStack seriously, and the industry at large, like what we're seeing with IBM, Dell, NEC, major global corporations that have a ton of money behind it already, we're going to just see that continue to increase. So no choice but OpenStack.